So listen to this. So the BAL and Rwanda just announced a multi-year extension for their existing collaboration that will see the BAL continue to play games at the BK Arena in Kigali, including the BAL playoffs and finals in 2024, 2026, and 2028. So Fly Air Rwanda, Rwanda National Airline, will continue as the official airline partner for the BAL. So this happened June 19th, about 2 days ago. And the extension will see Rwanda continue as a foundational and hosting partner for the BAL. So this is exactly great news for Rwanda and the people in Rwanda and also the BAL, because they're having a very good venue that they can be able to play games. And also the Amadou Gallo Fall, the BAL president, came out saying, "We're excited to renew our collaboration with Rwanda for the next 5 years. The journey continues. BAL and Rwanda Development Board extends collaboration until 2028, including BAL games in Kigali, Rwanda, youth development and social impact programs." So I saw this thing happen 2 days ago, and honestly, I felt very excited to see Rwanda having that big opportunity in BAL. You know, they hosted their first ever inaugural season of the BAL, and the finals have been held in Rwanda. And the numbers have been great because Rwanda and its proximity has enabled a lot of countries to be able to get there. And they have a state-of-the-art arena. The BK Arena in Kigali is just sensational. And I know people are asking why I mentioned this, and with reference to my home country, Kenya. And honestly, this is a very, it's actually something that, as a Kenyan fan, I honestly feel sad that our federation has failed poorly. And if you want to know if the Kenya Basketball Federation has failed poorly, look at how other federations are conducting themselves, and look at how they are carrying themselves. Look at the type of deals they are signing, and look at how futuristic they are looking, and look at the investment that they made to the sport. And when you look back at Kenya, you'll see like we're still stuck in the 70s, 80s, and 90s in terms of mentality and infrastructure. And honestly, this just reflects poorly, because I'm pretty sure FIBA somewhere are looking at what we are doing and who we are, and they're like, come on, guys, can you try to improve and try to like make your systems work? But when I come back to my home country, we're finding a situation where the federation is so broke to the point where we can't even afford to pay for Nyayo Stadium, a stadium that has stayed there for years upon years, for decades. Since the 70s, the stadium has never changed. That gym has never changed. It's continued remaining the same, and I don't think even a FIBA game can be hosted there, considering the fact that majority of the time, if it's a game that is within East Africa, they're just going to take it at the Kigali Rwanda, because it's state of the art, and the court, I mean, it's just like a Staples Center, or not even Staples, Crypto Arena. I don't know, Staples Center, but anyway, you get the point. I mean, the thing is, the Kenya Basketball Federation has failed to improve its infrastructure. We have failed as a country to be able to invest in sports, to the point where guys like Rwanda are coming and passing us, and they're having the opportunity to sign multi-year deals with the BAL. Who knows what this deal will yield? And looking at the way African basketball, not even Kenyan basketball, like African and continental basketball is truly on the rise. FIBA have set like the Kigali Arena to be one of their venues there where they can set up the events. Okay, we have the Dakar Arena. We have the arena in Egypt. We have the arena in South Africa. So you're seeing like these state-of-the-art arenas are setting up, and they are looking towards that opportunity to be able to host the BAL and even FIBA events. But if you look at our country, we are so backward in terms of how we look at things. We have no state-of-the-art arena. The Kasarani Arena is not even state of the art. It's just stuck in the 70s and 80s. The same thing as the Nyayo Stadium. We have there's nothing. If Kenya Basketball Federation can't even pay rent for 2 days to host the playoffs, while other countries like Rwanda are signing multi-year deals to be able to host the BAL, which is by far the biggest tournament in the whole of Africa, it speaks to like the type of leadership that we keep electing and the type of mentality that we have towards the sport. A few years from now, you will see people earning a lot of money, especially when it comes to like continental b-ball, you'll find people like making sure that they are getting a spot in there, and Kenya will just be left behind. And despite having a head start, we've been left behind by countries like Rwanda, South Sudan, Uganda. I mean, if you look at even in terms of BAL, Kenya has never even made past road to BAL. South Sudan has produced a BAL team, Cobra Sport. Rwanda has produced REG and the Patriots. You can see Uganda, they produced City Oilers this season. And continuing, you're seeing a lot of teams gearing up and making sure that they're able to like contend and compete in such levels. But when you look at my home country, it's pathetic. We can't even make it road to BAL. And one thing that I've seen is not only is it like the federation's big problem, but it's also like the leadership and management, or even the Ministry of Sports and the mentality that they have towards sport. Look at Rwanda, making sure that they have put like systems in a place where even the BAL are able to host their games there. I mean, FIBA come in and, collab with them. They have no issues. They're very transparent. But when it comes to our federation, it's filled with useless people who can't do nothing for you. It's filled with people who have a beggar's mentality. It's filled with people who don't even have any vision. They have no vision, no direction. The only thing that they know is to come after people who expose them and hold them accountable and label them and, profile them. Just the same way they try to do me, because I made sure to always hold them accountable in everything and ask them the tough questions, which majority of people don't want to ask. But this is the harsh reality as to why the Kenyan basketball scene will continue remaining the same. If these guys are able to iron out a deal with BAL, and let's say in 2030, the landscape of basketball will be so different. Looking at the way teams are setting up, looking at the way teams are gearing up, especially in terms of continental basketball, Kenya will fall way behind and will not be able to like even do anything. And actually, one interesting stat is the Kenya national team, the team that is set to go to AFROCAN, has never won a FIBA game 5-on-5 with the national team since 2021, since the AfroBasket. We have been receiving L after L after L, and majority of the time when you try to call this thing out, you get labeled a boatload of things. I feel like I've put up a lot of videos highlighting the failures, highlighting the things that we need to improve. But unfortunately, I just feel like they fall on deaf ears. And while we continue to regress and become mediocre, especially with the leadership, other countries and other nations are gearing up to get to that next level, to be able to compete and also be able to ship talent, not only abroad, but also have transactions in the continent. Kenya is one of the most interesting countries that I've seen. Kenya will never get to that level given the mentality that we have. And one thing that I must say is this, with regards to the BAL. Why is it that we can't even get players from the local leagues getting sought out by BAL teams? It goes to show you like the quality of basketball here is poor. People are playing pro basketball outside Kenya. Even within Africa, you're seeing people, you can even see the transactions that people have. I've been listening and I've been following a bunch of transactions even before the lead up to the BAL. And if you look at even Kenya, you're not even seeing any prospects coming in. You're not seeing even the players who are the best players in Kenya. You're not seeing them being sought after by the BAL teams. None of them. And it goes to show you that the quality of basketball and even the level of basketball that we play is not even at par or even can never match up to anything that you'll see outside our borders. And that's why teams like KPA and teams like Ulinzi struggle, especially when they go to BAL events. Not even BAL events, but also even the FIBA events. You could see KPA tried road to BAL, they failed. Ulinzi tried road to BAL, they failed miserably. KPA tried again, they lost 4 straight. So unfortunately, even the national team is also a failure. Right now, they are playing in the AfroCan. We don't even know if that team will be able to contend, or even are they focused on a rebuild. We don't even know. They are not even saying anything. So my point is this: looking at the way Rwanda has set themselves up for the future, even in the youth programs that are going to be there, it's going to attract a lot of awareness to their country, and all those resources are going to be channeled into multiplying what they already have now, because this is going to be one of the biggest game changers that they're going to have. And honestly, if you ask me, Kenya is we're just poor. I mean, look at even the only thing that gets the only thing that even gets like any attention is the fact that you are going to like the 3x3 beach games, which honestly, if you ask me, they mean nothing. Why is it that we're having players going to those 3x3 games, and it's the same run of the mill players who do nothing? When you go there, they're gonna lose games. We even send them to even like 3x3, even the guys who want Red Bull. If I want to measure like the impact of how those events made an impact in their lives, I will just have to look at, are they getting any call-ups from these international teams? No. If it's not this, that's a failure. Even if you win here and you go there and you lose and you've come back and you've not even got an offer for yourself, it's pathetic. So honestly, I'm not even gearing up to watch even those 3x3 beach games, because I know they're not going to lead up to anything. It's the same thing as any other 3x3 we went to. The Egypt one, the Romanian one where we went to and lost. I'm not looking at that, because even if we win, there are no big opportunities that are going to come to those Kenyan players, and also coming even to our federation. There's nothing that's going to come in there. So the only thing that we have just gone there to do is just decorate and show like we have very good jumpsuits that we have. So honestly, that's all I have to say about that. And congrats to Rwanda for that, because man, their basketball is just gonna elevate, and it's just gonna be better, and it's just going to be at par with what other guys in other continents are doing, like Europe, Asia, the US. They're going to be at par with them, given like the trajectory that they have taken. So well done to them. And I mean, BAL is here to stay. And if you guys like the video, make sure you leave feedback down in the comments. This video, I just decided to like freestyle on it. And I'm out. Peace.
If you had a chance to sit with the cabinet secretary of Sports Kenya, and together in that room there is the first lady of Kenya, and they ask you what areas can we improve on as a nation in sports or in basketball, what will you tell them?
Well, first and foremost, administration of the sport is what's holding it back.
Mm-hmm.
So I would really encourage them to do a clean sweep of the Kenyan Federation and really start looking to elect people for these positions who are passionate about the development of basketball. They're not there for the power or prestige or the money. They're there to develop the game, and be that a 30-year-old or a 60-year-old, as long as male or female, diversity and inclusion is also important at the federation level. I also think experience matters.
Yeah.
Business experience, sports management experience, these things need to be considered when electing officials for the federation. And then, of course, it's about funding. You can't have national teams who cannot participate in tournaments because of lack of funding. We all know there's money in the country. So it's about a matter of priority. And lastly, youth development.